This is cancer. And these are the people it touches.
He just loves life.
She's always dancing and always laughing. And she's the best ever.
If I can do anything to help someone not go through what we have to go through, it's worth it.
Together, we can make a difference.
That's why we get on our bikes every single year.
With over 6,300 riders and 4,000 volunteers, the fight against cancer has never been stronger.
Go PMC. Woo-woo.
Being able to ride in the PMC, I would help other families not have to go through what we did.
I think it's a really deep and rewarding feeling to raise money for the Dana-Farber.
They've made us feel so hopeful about his treatment.
We just ride our bikes. We have the easy part.
Tonight, live from Sturbridge, we get closer by the mile. The 37th Pan-Mass Challenge Opening Ceremonies starts right now.
And good evening, everyone!
We have one very excited crowd here tonight in Sturbridge. Welcome to the 37th Annual Pan-Mass Challenge. If you haven't heard, this is a bike ride. It is a long, awesome bike ride. But more than that, folks, this is a world-class fundraising event. We're live in Sturbridge because thousands will hit the roads this weekend in hopes of bringing us closer to a cure for cancer.
Now, WBZ is proud to be your official PMC media sponsor and to share in the mission to end the pain of this terrible disease that far too many people experience. Since the PMC began in 1980, riders have raised $500 million for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Think about that. That's $500 million. And this year, we could add almost $50 million more to that total. And it's already a record-setting year, with 6,300 people registered to ride this weekend.
And many of the riders are taking on the entire 192-mile routes. They're here in this room.
Oh, yeah.
There is inspiration in this room. There is inspiration at every turn in the road, including this amazing group of riders known as Living Proof. We're talking about more than 300 cancer survivors who are going to be jumping on a bike this weekend, and another 300 will be volunteering. The Pan-Mass Challenge, as you mentioned, born in 1980, and when it started, there was just a handful of riders who raised $10,000 for Dana-Farber, which was pretty good at the time. Well, the next year, hundreds of riders signed up and raised 4 times as much money.
And the momentum from that point on just keeps growing, thanks to passionate riders and supporters and volunteers, and a leader who is always thinking about ways to make this ride bigger and better. Please welcome PMC founder Billy Starr.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We are thrilled to be back for another year and to have David riding his 3rd PMC and Lisa riding for the 6th time. They will join a record number of registered riders from Massachusetts, as well as all over the world.
It's amazing, Billy, because when we were here last year, I looked around the room and I thought, well, the event can't get any bigger than this. You can't raise more than $40 million. You can't have more than 6,000 riders. How does it get bigger every year?
We got an aircraft carrier and a landfill operation. It's not easy, but the demand for this event has been tremendous. It's hard to turn away the money when the money is as important as it is. And our staff works year-round to build out our infrastructure to make this a safe, fun, reasonably comfortable weekend.
And thanks to technology, it's never been easier to follow the riders.
That's true. We got a new app. It's going to follow you whether you like it or not. You can connect with your friends and your family as you cross in all the water stops and hub sites. Use it, enjoy it.
Our next guest, a very familiar face, well known for leading the Red Sox, and this year became the chairman of the Jimmy Fund. Of course, you all know Larry Lucchino. Larry now helping to raise money for Dana-Farber, a hospital that actually helped him battle cancer. You battled through cancer twice. and now you're sort of the big poppy of the Jimmy Fund. Tell us about your new gig.
I'm really looking forward. The Red Sox history with the Jimmy Fund goes back 63 years. And when we came to town in 2002, we tried to deepen and expand the connection between the Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund. And the PMC was the perfect vehicle. It is a very special event. It is something that we look we're very proud to support year in and year out, and we want to take a minute just to salute the people here who are on the front lines of this battle and thank them for all that they do. We just are proud to be your partner. Thank you.
And how important, Larry, how important is the Pan-Mass Challenge for Dana-Farber?
Well, it represents about 50% of the Jimmy Fund's operating budget. It's that big, that important, and as Ed Benz frequently says, when the history of the cure for cancer is written, the PMCers will be in the first chapter.
All right. How about the Red Sox this year? Are they going to win it all?
Red Sox are going to be awfully good, and they're awfully entertaining already, aren't they? Come on. So it's I wish our players could see the kind of spirit and energy and unity that's here. I really wish they could. Thank you.
You hear that, players? Look at the riders. Also tonight, he is a 7-time PMC rider who also happens to be the mayor of Newton.
That's right. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Seti Warren.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to be with you. First, I want to share a message, a special message on behalf of the citizens of the great city of Newton. We have a special proclamation to present this evening. In celebration and recognition of Billy Starr, native son of Newton, for his incredible work as founder and executive director of the Pan-Mass Challenge, in recognition of the strong commitment of the Dana-Farber Institute, over 6,000 riders from 40 states and 5 countries will ride in this year's Pan-Mass Challenge. Newton will be well represented by 290 riders, the second highest in the state of Massachusetts as far as a city. Together, with over 4,000 volunteers, the Pan-Mass Challenge will raise more money than any other athletic fundraising event in the country. And 100% of the funds will be raised, will go directly to charity. I, Seti D. Warren, Mayor of the City of Newton, proudly proclaim Friday, August 5th, 2016, Pan-Mass Challenge Day in the City of Newton. Thank you. Before I end tonight, I want to close on a very personal note. I know, like many of you, I ride. This is my 7th year riding with Team Zakem. I ride for those who are battling cancer, for those who lost their battle against the fight against cancer. At the same time, we know cancer is indiscriminate as far as race, as far as class, as far as gender, sexual orientation. At the same time, we know this ride brings together people of all races, of all classes, of all religions, of all ethnicities, and all sexual orientation and ages. That's why I believe in this ride. We come together as one community to fight and battle cancer. When we're out on that road, we are all one, we are all the same. That's why I'm in this for life. That's why I know we're going to beat cancer. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be with you.
In 1980, it would have been hard to envision that the road less traveled would have led to this point. First, my 15-year-old informs me that she will be riding the PMC this year. And then, the Grateful Dead, who I've seen no less than 50 times since 1973, perform at Fenway Park with the PMC logo behind them on the green monster. What a long, strange trip it's been. There are a lot lot of life lessons to be learned on PMC weekend. The first is that the commitment is the difference. I might have joked back in 1980 that the beer tasted better after 200 miles, but upon further reflection, I can attest that the cycling challenge is secondary to knowing that all this sweat equity is moving the crank of progress forward in the realm of cancer research and treatment. Through the years, funding from the PMC has enabled Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to build world-class facilities and retain and recruit the best scientists and doctors in the world. Dana-Farber President Edward Benz has often said that without PMC funding, the level of excellence at the Institute could not be maintained. As further proof of that excellence, in the last 5 years, Dana-Farber Harvard Cancer Center research was critical to 37 of the 79 new cancer drugs approved by the FDA. And Dana-Farber itself was responsible for well over half of those 37. That's tremendous motivation for all PMC riders. Many of those watching on television may think of the PMC as a one-weekend-a-year event as riders cross through 46 towns in Massachusetts. But PMC is more than a weekend. PMC is a year-round consciousness as well as a full annual calendar of events, including an indoor cycling event called the Resolution and the PMC Kids Rides program. Together, these two programs raise over $1 million towards our $46 million goal. And that money will represent 58% of the Jimmy Fund's entire annual revenue. This year's ride will have 6,300 riders and 4,000 volunteers, of which 606 are living proof. Living proof riders and volunteers are those who have been diagnosed with cancer or are currently going through treatment. If you are living proof, please stand up. Thank you. In January, Vice President Biden issued a moonshot, a simple goal: double the rate of progress against this disease. We are thrilled to see increased focus on this critical mission, one that requires talent and collaboration. And I know that when it comes to harnessing resources, there is no better vehicle than a bike. With over $500 million raised since 1980, the PMC will honor his commitment by raising our next $500 million in a third of a time it took us to raise our first $500 million. That's the PMC. Thank you.
We are now joined by both the incoming and outgoing presidents of Dana-Farber.
We'll start with Dr. Ed Benz, retiring after 16 incredible years, and Dr. Lori Glimcher, who is so serious about tackling this new job, she is riding the PMC this weekend, which is a great way to start. I want to start with you, Dr. Benz. Explain to our viewers at home what this ride and the money raised means to Dana-Farber.
Well, you know, in a word, it means everything to Dana-Farber and to our mission. Without the PMC, we're not able to recruit and to retain that incredible group of talented scientists and caregivers that we do. Without the PMC, we wouldn't be able to build these phenomenal programs now in chemical biology that are generating new drugs, and in precision medicine that's allowing us to match those new drugs with the profile of the tumors that patients have. That's where the world is going to advance. Would not have allowed us to develop new programs in immunotherapy, which we think is really the brightest new chapter, and something, fortunately, that Laurie Glimcher is a wonderful expert in and can tell you a lot more about than I can.
And Dr. Glimcher, what attracted you to Dana-Farber and to Boston?
Oh my goodness, I'm the luckiest woman in the world to join this fantastic place, the best cancer center in the country. I am thrilled, I am honored, I can't wait.
You start the job in October.
I do.
So Dr. Glimcher starts the job in October. You easily could have taken a pass this year from riding the PMC and the 192 miles, but you're riding. Why did you decide to do it?
Well, I admit I'm a little nervous because I'm not a biker. I'll probably be in the back of the pack.
That's okay.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm thrilled to be joining everybody and thanking everybody for all you do, all the support from the PMC, from the Jimmy Fund, from our wonderful staff, our nurses, our doctors. We couldn't get there without you. And, you know, I kind of think of curing cancer like riding a bike. You have to keep on pedaling when you're riding a bike or you fall off. Well, the PMC, the Jimmy Fund, all of you, you are putting metal to the pedal. And with you, we are never going to fall off. We're going to succeed. So thank you all so much.
And I know you're nervous about the weekend, but you won't fall off. No worries.
Quickly, what did you tell her about the ride? Because, Dr. Benz, you have ridden the PMC.
I have, yes. It was one of the most wonderful things that's ever happened to me. I've made so many friends riding and since riding, coming out here every year to Sturbridge. It's just you're in a phenomenal, phenomenal group of people. And all of us, all 5,000 of us who work at Dana-Farber know that what you do for us is just so unbelievably important to our ability to meet the mission, and we're going to deliver for you.
Well, doctors and presidents, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Well, David and Lisa, so we're joined by the Gallivan family right now. Everyone has an inspirational story, and Susie and Annie are with us right now. This is a family affair for you. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. So we ride with our brother and sister, as well as aunts and uncles. We started riding because a family friend passed away from cancer, and ever since we've been riding with family friends who are practically family, and it's just such an inspiration to see all the other riders out here.
Annie, you are a PMC intern, and obviously they've been riding for years too.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be out there, you know, riding and being a participant in the PMC weekend?
Yeah, so being involved in the ride itself is amazing. You get to meet so many different people. Everyone has their own story. Everyone talks on the bike. It's amazing being a first-year rider. Everyone congratulates you, says welcome to the group. It's awesome. So
I was going to say, so I'm a first-year rider, a little bit nervous. I don't usually ride down the street from Wellesley to Foxborough. All right, so give me or anyone who's watching tonight and thinking about getting involved, what would be your advice to them?
I would just say it's amazing. Your first ride is so special. Like I said, everyone loves to congratulate first-year riders on the road. Everyone is just so nice and looks out for all the new riders. It's amazing.
Sounds great.
You have a pretty cool team name. Tell us a little bit about that. It was making us laugh.
Yep, so our team name is Team Fast, but it does not have to do with our speed. It's called Fast for Fat and Skinny Team.
Have to say, that's pretty unique.
So it's a mixed group. So this is not just, you know, all the same age group. This pertains to some family ties and who's taking part.
Yep, so when the group first started, the team, it was a bunch of girls around our age riding with their fathers. So the team name worked out very well.
You know, Dad Bod is in now.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to ask, how has training been going this summer?
There's always room for improvement, but I feel like I'm ready, and I'm ready for the ride, and I'm excited.
You're ready to go. Are we ready to go? Yeah. We're ready to go. I have to do it. I wore a dress with pockets for this purpose. Eric, first-year rider. Everyone else, we're going to hear a whole lot of cowbell this weekend, and thankfully the weather is looking pretty good.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it. It's great to have all these wonderful people and so much support, and all these people have been asking, what's up with the weather? So one more reminder, very humid, very warm day tomorrow. It looks like our storms are noon to 6. I think it's mostly going to come in play here for Bourne. So the party at the end, everyone's enjoying their first day of the ride. We're going to keep an eye on those storms, make sure everyone stays safe out there in the late evening.
Thankfully, Sunday still looks fantastic.
Sunday looks
sunny,
excellent.
beautiful. David and Lisa, back to you.
Our next speaker tonight is actually a former PMC intern who is riding this year for the very first time.
She has faced tragedy with resilience, met sadness with hope, and she knows the joy in this PMC community firsthand. Please welcome Catherine McManus.
I am honored to be here tonight at this year's PMC. Although my PMC story is a little unorthodox, I'm happy to share it all with you tonight. Growing up in Sharon, Massachusetts, I've always known of the Pan-Mass, and with a mother who worked for Dana-Farber as the director of the Jimmy Fund Walk for all of my teenage years, Dana-Farber and the fight to end cancer is something I'm very familiar with. However, I am lucky. Besides friends and extended family members, cancer hasn't affected my immediate family. It wasn't until my sophomore lacrosse season at the University of Notre Dame where cancer became real to me. During my sophomore year, I met, at the time, 4-year-old Bobby Russell. Bobby was battling non-Hodgkin's B-cell lymphoma. After a few visits, many rounds of bingo and Candyland, Bobby and I, in his eyes, were dating. I spent almost 6 months getting to know Bobby, joining him for his chemo treatments, his spinal taps, and in return, he would cheer on my teammates and me and run around at all of our games, becoming our biggest and cutest mascot and superfan. Bobby taught me many things. He taught me about the joy of life. He taught me about resilience and strength. But above all, Bobby taught me perspective. In May of my sophomore year, tragedy struck my family, not in the form of cancer, but in a different kind of loss. As I was wrapping up my sophomore season in South Bend, a call came, informing me that my oldest sister, who was 26 at the time, was strangled to death by her ex-boyfriend. During a time when I wanted to fall apart, I relied on the lessons I had learned from Bobby to help me move forward. As I worked hard to redefine my new normal and put the pieces of my life back together my junior year, I decided to come home for the summer after my junior year to be around family. Somehow, the PMC took a chance on me and hired me as an intern, and I'm so incredibly lucky they did. The PMC mission gave me a reason to be happy to be back in Massachusetts. The PMC felt like home. The people I worked with, the riders, the fighters, and the loved ones that I worked for made this summer job one of the best experiences of my life. As I learned more about our riders and their journeys they took to get here, I was blown away. Once again, filled with the joy of life, strength, resilience, and above all, perspective. So this year, I PMC for all of those who can't, for everyone who makes this event as incredible as it is, and for anyone who has ever been affected by cancer or felt the pain and loss of losing a loved one. As I embark on my new journey as a rider rather than an intern this year, I look forward to all the people I will meet and the mark this event will forever have on my heart. Thank you.
You know, if you've been thinking about riding the PMC, you may think to yourself, well, I'm too old to ride a bike. Oh, that excuse is about to disappear. PMC riders span many generations, actually, ranging in age from 15 all the way up to 83.
And Ronald Brown is one of 3 cyclists over the age of 80 riding the Pan-Mass Challenge this weekend. Ronald's first PMC was in 1993. This is going to be his 22nd time riding all 192 miles. He tells us the cheering crowds in this room and outside and the signs of support on the route keep him going.
It can really get to you. You see a little kid with a shaved head with a sign saying, "Thank you for saving my life." Makes it easier to do.
And Ronald is turning 81 in September. Take a look at him. 81's going to look great on you. He has no plans of slowing down anytime soon.
Before I leave tonight, whatever your diet is, Ronald, I'd like you to write it down for me, please.
We'll take it.